By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Hello, everybody, and indeed, this is Chicago TonyV from the Chicago TonyV Show podcast, and you're listening to 20TIMinutes. My man, Chicago TonyV, finally on the podcast for an introduction. I don't know why it took me so long to get him on, but I am super excited for Chicago TonyV. Be sure to check him out on the Chicago TonyV Show. He does a live Reddit pretty much every morning during the week. So you can catch him at like 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Chicago TonyV. Love you, guy. Thank you so much. I think me and him are linking up for an interview for his podcast, hopefully soon. So thank you, my friend. What's new, guys? Episode Deuce Deuce, 22 Automatic on my person. What band? Group? Beastie Boys. Too late. Quick shout out to Vinyl Disorder for my stickers. Be sure to check them out at vinyldisorder.com. VD special, 60% off. My stickers are sick. They're all over the place in the background. Be sure to check it out. A lot of Easter eggs back there. Not actual Easter eggs, but you know what I mean. I am Tim McCarthy, your host of the podcast 20TIMinutes. One that focuses on mental health through insight, personal stories, and humor. If this is the millionth time you've been rocking with me or the 22nd time, I just did that order a little bit different. Did you catch it? I don't think so, but welcome. I'm trying to get this new setup going. My buddy Jav from Decent Takes was trying to help me out with the lighting situation. I got a bunch of strip lights like I am a TikTok star now, but my camera sucks, so I went back to the phone, but it's buzzing because of my mic. So I'm not really in the best mood right now, and sorry if this thing sucks audio visual wise, but I will get you this episode because you are listening to it right now. So I had a couple interviews drop today, which I love being interviewed for a podcast. It's a huge honor to be asked to go on these. So cool. So one that dropped today was the Fantasy Friendship podcast, which I told you guys about not too long ago, where I talk about the time I was on Match Game and on Jerry Springer, which I always forget I was, and I got in a fight with a stripper, and she told me she was going to empty my bank account, but joke's on her, don't have that much money. She also had the weirdest response of all time, so kind of a weird thing. You can check that out on Twitter, but I should post that on Instagram, and you'll see that soon. And then I was just on the Ross Trevina podcast, my friend over the pond, good bloke. I don't know if that's a good word or not, but I love the word bloke for a guy. We talked about mental health in the most humorous way you could. He had a lot of good questions for me, which kept me on my toes. It was a good interview, so be sure to check out both of those, Fantasy Friendship and the Ross Trevina podcast. You can check them out on all the old internets. You know where to find them. And then today I just finished recording with my man, That Guy Amped. He did a previous introduction episode, it was called Hijinks. Be sure to check him out, That Guy Amped, in the Amped Up podcast. Great guy, great interview. We had a lot of fun. He put a half hour away from me. We ended up taking the hour because I have the gift of gab or the disease of gab. So you know how it is with your boy. This week I have another interview with safety of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval. Great guy. He promoted his great organization called Dream the Impossible. He is an advocate for mental health. He had a friend die of suicide, and it was his mission to help out as many African American people in his community. He's actually a Charlotte guy, so we got to talk a little bit about Charlotte. He obviously helps out every demographic, but mental health in the African American community is tough. And he's trying to break that stigma as well. That demographic, for some reason that we chatted about, they just have a tough time reaching out. And I'm trying to help him. I'm trying to learn. So it was very informative for me. We had a lot of fun. Doug Middleton, thank you so much. The episode will be released this week. It was a real fun interview. I asked him, I came up with a nickname for him. He told me a cool story about the NFL and how cutthroat they are. So that was really fun. So on just straight up, really quick, I didn't know how to break the ice, but I did. Because it's kind of awkward when you get into these Zoom interviews and you don't know what to say or do. And you're like, hey, what's up? Especially with someone you don't really know. So right before we recorded, I go, all right, man, let's go. Rock, paper, scissors. Without missing a beat, he jumped right in. So my new thing I am doing with my guest, I'm sorry for the people that already been guested, but rock, paper, scissors each week against my guest. Currently, you will find out what my record is, and I'm going to keep my record every week. I'm going to try to go undefeated. You shall see how it goes down. Check it out. Rock, paper, scissors championship. Straps are on the line. RPS. If you want to come get this rock, paper, scissors smoke, you know where to find me. Let's get it. So, again, not having the best day with this podcast today. I got to stop procrastinating so much, and that's going to be what I'm talking about today, because I think we all procrastinate. There's different levels to this game. I still have laundry that I have so much laundry that I keep in the basket. I have to wash them again. That's in the other basket. So I just transfer them basket to basket. And I do all this laundry at once. And I do like the loads where you put a shit ton in. And when you dry it, you have to do it like 2 or 3 more times for it to get to dry, because you mix in so much shit because you're in a rush. I don't know why I waited to the last minute to record this episode it's like I'm not waiting for any news to happen. I don't really talk about current events in here unless it's that guy from Twitter. By the way, real quick, that podcast got caught buying reviews on Apple. At the beginning, it says comment should say, and then the comment would happen. And there was like 6 of them on one day. That podcast bought reviews. They end up taking them down and re-uploading them without the comment should say part, but that just shows how they are. Anyway, over that, game over, done with that podcast. Just had to share that little tidbit with you because that's awesome. But procrastination, I was looking up online, and there's like 4 different types of procrastinators, and I was like, yeah, that is 100% right. There's the I work well under pressure people. And I feel like I've said that before, and their biggest problem is like getting started. And what they got to do is like plan out a step 1 and go through there. But I say I work well under pressure, and then I'm just like, no, I'm not that good. And then the other one, when you say I'm so lazy, and then you end up taking a break, like how do you guys restart that? Because I don't. I'm just like, I'm so lazy. I'm gonna take a break. I'm going to take a break from taking a break. And so apparently you got to go for a walk or recharge. Then I just take a nap. Then I wake up from the nap and I'm too groggy, and practically my day's over because my days are just awful anyway with working the overnights. And then there's like other ones. It's like, oh, I just had the best idea. You ever been like that? And then you just procrastinate completing it. You have so many things to do. You're like, oh, I got this great idea. Then you don't write it down. That's why you gotta get sticky notes. I do that all the time with my phone. I have a phone where I can just talk into it and have my schedule. Like I still mess up my schedule. Like I had an interview with the podcast. I'm always running like a couple minutes late. And it's like, I gotta get better at that. And I wanna get better at that. I just don't know what the fuck to do. It drives me insane. And then there's like the I'm so busy one where you just create chaos for yourself and you just try to do a million different things. But then like, what are you avoiding to get that done? Am I making any sense? Just procrastinating sucks. And I looked it up to see, like, obviously it's not a mental health related thing. Like it's not diagnosed, but it definitely goes in with the ADHD where you're trying to do like a million things at once and you just give up on half of them. Well, actually I gave up on all of them, and you try to get those things restarted, and just getting restarted is the absolute worst. And I just can't do it. I can't do it at all. If you guys have any tips or suggestions, please let me know, because I do not do well with getting things done and getting things done on time. Yeah, I was really upset putting this podcast together. I was like dropping things. The cat closet is way too small for me. I need to knock down a wall somehow. I think the chimney's right next to me, and then I don't even know what's over there. I think outside is next to me on the other side. But yeah, I'm done. I'm done doing that. I need to figure out a game plan to move forward. Everyone's been saying a lot of nice things about the podcast still, and I feel like I was talking to Lindsay about it, and I'm not like getting my hopes up for anything big because like I don't know where this is gonna go, and I don't really care because I'm just having fun doing it, coming out with merch and stuff. Actually, I'm coming out with more merch, and it's another T-shirt that I like, and Jess, my friend Jess, asked Lindsay if it was a shirt about the cat closet. I don't know how I would make a cat closet T-shirt, but if people are dying for cat closet T-shirts, let me know, and I'll try to finagle something together. Again, I don't know how that would work. And then I'm gonna do another line of hats, but I'm not gonna do like the boxy hats. I'm gonna do like the flimsy dad hats with like the same logo. So I'm in the works for those. Very excited to see how those come out. Classic Customs and Hemlock Ink are gonna do those for me again. They were great quality. Those shirts were money, right? People love them. If you still haven't sent me a photo of that T-shirt, I need you to send it in because I want to start posting those as like a collage on Instagram. You know, like the one where you put like 4 different boxes together, and you're like, oh my god, it's so neat and together. I had a great question on my Q&A. Hold on, I gotta take a look at it so I read it right. So don't forget, go to 20TIMinutes.com. I have a Q&A section where you can just ask a question and I'll try to answer it. Don't send me something stupid because I won't mention it. But also, you can send in requests to see if I can give you some advice. My advice would probably be terrible, but if you want to, for the sake of doing it, to see another point of view, send them to your boy, 20TIMminutes.com. Again, you can just Google 20TIMminutes. I have so many things. You can download my app, which you should. It's ridiculous that I even have an app, but you should do it. Everything's there, all my collaborative episodes. I got photos, motivation of the week. Go through my archives. I have my store on there. You can pay with a credit card. Super easy. Just download it. You got a bunch of apps you haven't deleted yet. Just add to it, okay? Then make room when it gets full and it's like, do you want to start your iCloud? You're like, no, I'm not putting things on the cloud. Celebrities get their nudes leaked every week. I'm not putting my shit on there. I don't even know where it goes. Like, how is it going somewhere? Like, I just use Google. There's like a Google photo thing you can use where every photo you take on your phone, it goes directly to Google, and there's no like Macs. And there's nothing else on my phone I need. I don't like record like memos. The only thing I record are episodes, and then I transfer it to another USB. Either way, iCloud's a scam. Download my app. Just download the app. But the question I received was, how do you deal with an unexpected death? Great question. Thanks for the submission. Unexpected deaths suck, right? You just don't know when they're coming, obviously. And it's not easy to deal with, especially when you get that call and you like try to process it, whether it be someone close, like a family member, a friend of a friend, a friend's brother. It's a bummer, and there's like different degrees of how you feel. You get so many like thoughts in your head, like, oh my God, how are they doing? What happened? How did he die? That's always my favorite on Facebook, when someone passes and you get like someone's crazy aunt, they're like, how did he die? Like, why would I write that for everyone to see? So people can just talk about it. That's always my favorite. Old people on Facebook rule. They're so funny. But I don't know if this question is for me personally, like how do I deal or give suggestions, but I'm going to take it and just say what I would do. I try, if it's someone close to me, I just try to think about the good times, and then I'll probably think about the last time I see them, or the last time I did see them. That's why I always say I love you to people, because if that was me, at least I can be like, oh, that person said I love you, Tim said I love you to them. And then I would probably think of the last thing I said to them. Then I get like that feeling of regret. It's like, oh, I should have saw them more, I should have called them. And everyone does that and beats themselves up, but you really can't unless you guys like ended on bad terms. But what I do, I think I just cry by myself a lot. Then I try to be there for other people. Like when Lindsay's sister died, it was unexpected to a point. She wasn't doing too hot, and like I was just there for Lindsay, like trying to do the best I can. You don't know what to say in those situations. But then like I was like laying in the living room and I started crying, but I didn't want to do it in front of her because I felt like it wasn't fair. But then she saw me and she was like, you can cry too. It's like Lon loved you and all that. But just check in on people and just see how they're doing. I know it's kind of overwhelming. It's like, hey, how are you? It's like, oh, I'm doing terrible, but thanks for asking. I think it's always good when people just show up. I also like when people just drop off a bunch of food because obviously you aren't eating, but then you're also not hungry, but you also want to be like, thank you. I don't want to waste this food. But then you call your other friends over and be like, hey, I got a bunch of food. You want to eat this with me? So it's kind of a vicious cycle. So check up on other people, I would say, that I do. And just keep bringing up like stories. I love bringing up old stories, especially ones that make you laugh. We do that a lot. So how I deal with it, I think okay. I've dealt with death for like I've been to more funerals than I should have. I feel like, and those are always like so awkward. You roll up, and I was talking about this on the Ross Ravina podcast, where it's like you have that awkward thing where you go up and you're like, oh, he looks good though. When people say that to you, oh, he looks good. No, he doesn't. He's dead. Don't know why you're saying that. He would look good alive. But thank you for the kind words. But then again, people are just mad awkward anyway at funerals. You don't know what to say, ever. You just give people hugs. Tell them they love them. Don't know if you're religious at all. The kneeling, not kneeling. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. When I'm kneeling, I don't know what I'm supposed to say in my head. So I kind of just stand there and then just give everyone a hug. Sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss. I want to be cremated. I do not want to be buried. I told Lindsay to take my ashes to Fun Spot. It's in New Hampshire. It's like the largest arcade in the world. And just throw it over there. So if I end up being stuck in a spot with my ashes, at least I can play video games until the day I die again. I don't know. Is there like a double afterlife? Afterlife. That'd be fucking crazy, right? That's crazy. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. I'm going to end this episode now because this one sucked. And I know people are going to be like, no, it didn't suck. And I'm like, yeah, it fucking did, dude. Movie suggestion of the week is Walk Hard. It's on Netflix. I feel like I might have suggested it before. But that movie rocks. Super underrated. Great cast. John C. Reilly, Kristen Wiig. Oh, man. It's pretty much like Walk the Line. And he goes through like all the generations of different music. But watch that. It's super underrated, not talked about enough. And then my music suggestion would be Five. I think they were from England. The boy band Five. They sung Baby When the Lights Go Out. They sang that song, but not that song. Listen to Slam Dunk the Funk. That's an absolute banger. Slam Dunk the Funk. Dunk the Funk. Love it. Absolutely love it. What else was I going to talk about today? My whiteboard's out of the way. Oh yeah, just the merch and the app. Go download the 20TIMinutes app. I love you guys so much. Sorry for this quick episode. It was kind of just thrown together last minute. Procrastination is a bitch. You understand it? Time's up. Have a good one. This podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. If you are feeling suicidal, please dial 911.